My name is Burton Cohen. I go by Bob. I am presently the president of my manufacturing company located in Hatboro, Pennsylvania. And my wife and I are very involved with the education of minority communities in the Philadelphia region. And so we saw an opportunity to take an interest in HopeWorks because of the work they were doing with youth in Camden. My wife and I, through our foundation, have been donors to the Resource Center. A lot of the computers that the students are using, we've purchased. The new center is something we're helping to finance. So the students that come through HopeWorks have an opportunity to have the best type of environment to learn or to be educated in the crafts that they choose. My hope is, my wife and I, our hope is that the space will allow more educational opportunities for the students, more people to come through the system. And our goal for the students is a good middle class, high paying position so that they can break out of a cycle of poverty or break out of a cycle of being disadvantaged financially. So if we can take those children, those adolescents, and turn their lives around and make them productive members of the community, we all benefit.
And most of my life was actually working remotely. And over the years, to be quite honest with you, I struggled with working remotely because number one, there was just the fact that I had a young family and there was noise and people busting down the doors and everything else. And how do you stay focused? And at that time, I was one of the few people that were kind of trying to do it. And to be quite honest with you, I found it really frustrating. Over time, I kind of got down to a rhythm, but I could understand that took me some time. When Dan talked about, the challenges for some of the graduates were, if you don't have a room, a place in wherever you're living, how can you kind of A, stay focused in terms of what's going on? B, how can you kind of benefit from what an office can bring, and that is having other people around to bounce ideas and everything else. And what Dan said is, sometimes graduating and going to your first job is hard enough, but when you're in this kind of environment, it even makes it more difficult. So Dan and I started brainstorming about different ideas, came up with the idea of, he said, we're thinking of this first one, having a center for graduates who can come back in. And, potentially, I think as he talked about it and I talked about it, it would be good to have something that not only works in the world we find ourselves in today, but works in the future.
You can't always find a quiet space at home to work in. And sometimes you just need a space where you can stay there for an indefinite amount of time and just be able to work and not have any distractions around you, and also be able to reach out to people around you who can assist you as well. Youth who usually don't have regular access to internet or don't have a stable living environment where they can focus on their work, they'll be able to come to this space and be able to be as productive as they can, as opposed to being in a space where they otherwise couldn't. So for the alumni, especially as the alumni are in their own space as well, in their own careers, they definitely will need more space to be able to work. And with things going on with COVID now too, it's a little bit difficult to find a quiet and functional space to do anything. So I think alumni will really benefit from it because their careers won't be heavily impacted now. You'll be able to interact with alumni and youth that you've never met before and find where your goals really align, and then see where you can benefit from each other and help each other grow. So I think I'm really excited to see that, just seeing how we kind of bridge the gap between the previous generations of HopeWorks and the current ones, and seeing where they move on from there as far as their professional growth is concerned.